to Black and Gold Today, brought to you by Cadillac of New Orleans. I'm Rachel Whittaker. If the Saints lose to the Packers tonight, they'll go winless in the preseason for the first time in 44 years. But don't worry about that. Instead, let's welcome in now Saints beat writer Katherine Terrell, who is in Green Bay. Katherine, in this very important game to firm up the roster, I'd be surprised if Ryan Griffin didn't get the bulk of the snaps at quarterback as Luke McCown did versus Houston. Do you think he'd even start?
I think it's possible he starts. I would think they would want to give him a lot of snaps tonight. If they don't, obviously we realize that spells the end for him, but I think that they're still taking a hard look at him because he really could beat McCown. It just depends on whether they want to keep that veteran or not. So I don't even know if McCown plays, but I could see Griffin and Grayson splitting the snaps with Griffin starting. There's really a couple of ways they could go tonight.
Right, and in terms of McCown versus Griffin, I mean, do you have an inkling about which of those might have to go? Because, I mean, the Saints will not keep both of them, right?
I think, well, everybody has a different opinion about this, it kind of shows how close it is. But I personally think they keep McCown and Grayson and put Griffin on the practice squad. If Drew Brees goes down, it really doesn't matter who's there.
Right.
But it probably makes them feel better to have a veteran guy there. McCown has been around forever. You would have to think that would give you a little bit more comfort than having Griffin or Grayson. But maybe Griffin just purely beat out McCown, and they don't think about that. So it really just kind of depends on what the coach's frame of mind is when it comes to that.
Right, I'm almost thinking, I mean, the Saints had Griffin, they didn't want to risk him getting picked up by having him on the practice squad last year. So, I mean, I'm wondering if they leave him on the practice squad again, if they really might lose him. You make a great point, though. If Drew goes down, hey, maybe even put Grayson in at backup. That might be a bit of a stretch. At that point, the Saints' season would be going down rapidly. So I don't know about putting Grayson in at backup, but you know, having him at the ready could be a good strategy. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's ready to start anytime soon. He needs at least a year. Like I said, it all depends on what the coaches think. So I guess anything's possible.
Right. We'll see how Griffin plays tonight. And Keenan Lewis, of course, very unfortunate news there. We talked a lot about that on Wednesday. And Katherine, that'll be another topic that we'll address, I'm sure, coming up soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be right back.
You drive your vehicle every day, so why drive an everyday vehicle? Come experience the difference. We are the Cadillac of Cadillac dealers.
Now at Cadillac of New Orleans. New owners, new attitude on Lime Street in Rye in Metairie.
Before we go, Drew Brees discussed two receivers this week I want to highlight. First, Brandon Coleman has caught just one pass this preseason on 6 targets, that 27-yard catch against Houston. And Brees still says, though, he has a good comfort level with Coleman.
Just like any young player, you know, it's that transition from the plays that you make in practice to the game, and you know that'll only come with more opportunities. But I'm excited for him. I love his approach. I love his focus, and you know, just his maturation process from last year to this year. He deserves a lot of credit. He's worked extremely hard to get to this point.
Then there's Willie Snead, who you heard from on Monday. His 8 catches for 117 yards are eye-catching, and Brees is also impressed.
You know, a lot of people know who he is now, and you know, every time you throw in the ball, something good happens. So he's another guy who's worked extremely hard and just taking it one day at a time. And man, he's soaked it all up. You know, I mean, every coaching point from his position coach and from the QBs, and the extra work after practice, and just all the little things that you want to see out of a young player who, you know, wants to be great and certainly wants to play a big role in this team. He's doing it.
And remember when I said don't worry about a possible winless preseason? The Colts and Cowboys went winless last year and ended up winning their divisions. Of course, every team is different, but that's a good fact of the day. Enjoy the game, everyone, and I'll see you again on Friday.